All right, friends, if you can, scoot your chair in for me so my helpers can get around you, okay? I don't want you to be uncomfortable while you paint, so don't scooch in so much that you can't move, okay? Just enough that my helpers can get around you. Not bright green for Daisy today. Are you maturing? Is that what you're, is that you? That's why you don't get your own paint, because that could have happened on your shirt. Hi. Yeah, I just need a last name. Okay. I was like, I'm not going to go. Okay. A-L-E-I. Okay. 12:30. You're all set. 30? Yep. Maybe I got a wipey, honey. Do you need help? These are all kind of tangled up, huh? Let me tie it for you. Okay, if a spot doesn't have a plate, it's already taken, okay? So come here. All right, let's wait to paint, friends, okay? I know it's tempting. Don't start painting yet. That spot right there is open. This spot is open. Those two are open, okay? All right, don't stress out if you don't have your colors yet. My helpers will come to you, okay? Maylee, need help her, okay? You want some different brushes? Yeah. You can have some of these too, okay? I don't know if you like this one better. I prefer that one. Okay, I would love to see a raise of hands for anybody here for the very first time. So, oh, we have some new friends here. Welcome! Who is here for the first time but has painted at home with me before? A few of you? I love that. So this class is actually live too. So see my camera right here is on. So I have people at home painting along with us today too. So how fun is that? You can go home and you can watch on YouTube. Yeah, you can go watch and be like, I was at that class, okay? We are going to paint my favorite painting of the whole summer today. Who loves this snail? Is it? It's a cute snail, huh? I love my snail. Okay. Now, you're getting your background color and your snail color right now, right? Some of you already have it. Some of you are waiting. It's okay if you're waiting. We'll make sure you get it, okay? Do you see one of my TVs at least? You might even have a seat where you see both of them. Do you see my hand? So this is pretty easy. You just follow me. Do you jump ahead of me? No. What if you're super far behind? Do you stress out? No. Okay. We're all going to paint at a different pace. Some of us are going to be super speedy and have to wait for me. And some of us are going to be slower and feel like they're behind the whole time. Either way, you're going to finish your snail today, I promise, okay? Who knows what to do when they need help? Raise your hand. We all know how to do that, right? We learned that when we were like in preschool, right? We can raise our hands. So, if you need more paint, if there's a drip on your canvas, if you spilled your water, these are all normal things, okay? Just raise your hand. I have two of my favorite people here helping me. I have Miss Emma in the pink shirt. She's my sister. Did you know that? She's my sister, my little baby sister, Emma. I do have another one. Miss Sarah's my sister, too. Miss Sarah's at Bear Lake. That's super rude, right? Yeah. How dare she not? Okay, my other helper, do we know who this is? Some of you do. That's Miss Maylee. She's my daughter. I know. It's like a family reunion in here. Yes. Oh, I have another daughter in the room. She is painting with you. Let's see if you can spot her. Yes, you got it. Emmy, do you want to stand on your chair and wave to everybody? This is my daughter, Emmy. This is my baby. That's my first baby, and this is my last baby. Both here to paint. Isn't that cute? Okay, sit down. All right. I didn't have to sign her up. She got out of bed this morning, and she said, Mom, can I go? And I was like, sure, why not? So here we are. She's lucky, huh? Okay, so. Yes. Okay, so listen. We have a lot to do today. We're painting a snail. We're having snacks. You guys like snacks? Yeah. Okay. Yes, I cooked snails last night. I'm kidding. What is that called? Escargot? Except, no. I tried to find gummy snacks that were snails, but I couldn't. So we got something else. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. Okay. No, it's not. No bug eating today, just painting. No. Okay, but listen up. After we paint and have a snack, we're going to make our clay snails. And they're going to be so cute. Okay, but right now we're focusing on our painting. And we're not going to rush through it because we want to do our best work. And as artists, we're going to be mature. Can you guys be mature? So we have to respect people around us. We can't get wild and crazy. We need to follow our teacher. We don't eat the paint. We don't drink the water. If you need a drink, there's a drinking fountain. You brought your own. Did you know I've had people eat the paint and drink the water before? I'm just saying, it happens. Sometimes it looks tempting. Okay? Also, we don't paint ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I know that's also tempting, but we don't paint ourselves or our neighbor. Yeah, you're going to get paint on your hands and stuff. That's normal. Okay? Are we ready? Okay. Now, you have 2 jars of water today because you're older and mature people. Okay? So, what does that mean? That means we wash our brush in 1 jar and we use our other jar when we need clean water. When do we need clean water? I think this corner over here should know. When do we need clean water? Melody? To check it or to dilute our paint. Kylie knew, yeah. So your paint sometimes needs water to thin it out. Especially it's warm outside, right? And we need water in our bodies to stay hydrated. When it's warmer outside, our paint needs water. More water than usual, okay? So that's what your clean water's for. Okay, do you have a brush with red hair? All right. pick a jar, any jar, and get it wet. And swish it around. And this is the only time I like jingle bells. The rest of the class, I don't. It's annoying. Okay, jingle bells. This is also when I test to see who's listening, because I'm going to say stop. And if I still hear jingle bells, then I'll know people aren't listening. And stop. Not bad, guys. I think you're listening. All right. Here's my lovely plate of paint. Do you have a plate of paint? Good. Okay. We're going to start with our background. This was your choice. Okay. Mine is blue. Whatever color you chose, get a scoop of it, find a pile of white, mix it together. Is it blowing right on you? Okay. Yeah, that's the cold seat in the house. Is that better, Kylie? Okay. So we got a scoop of our background color, which for me is blue, and use an entire pile of white. Why? Because you got to paint your whole background. Okay? The whole pile. Okay? Mix it up really good. Look how big. Look at it. Okay? Got a scoop of blue, mixed it into an entire pile of white. Don't be shy. That's okay. Paint is your friend. Don't be scared of your paint. All right, here we go. Here we go. We are painting, friends. We are not scrubbing our teeth with our toothbrush, so we are not scrubbing at all. I don't want to hear scrubbing, and Miss Cammie has great ears. With our toothbrush, not our paintbrush. Sometimes we use toothbrushes to paint with. My background is a lot bigger than yours because I have a bigger surface to cover. But I'll tell you what I don't have. I don't have edges. You do. You've got to paint your edges all the way around. The only part of your edge you don't paint is the bottom where the bottom of the slug will, or snail, sorry, will wrap around. Everything else will be your background color, okay? Now we're going to do our very best to stay out of our snail with our background and out of our cute little leaf that's keeping him shaded, right? But if you do get paint in there, it's not a big deal. If you get a lot of paint in there, raise your hand, okay? My helpers have tricks to get paint off. If you're painting at home, one of our tricks is to have something with alcohol in it, like a Clorox wipe, because alcohol eats the paint. Don't eat the alcohol or the paint. The most important part of this painting that you don't want to get your background color in are the eyes. Because what color are they going to be? And what color is our canvas? Yeah, so if we can help it, we won't even paint our eyes. We'll just leave it white like the canvas. Yeah, it's turning blue, huh? But the truth is, we're all just doing our best, and we're all going to end up with a different looking painting, even though we're all painting the same thing. We're different, and we chose different colors, and we're all on different levels of painting. Some of us are here for the first time. Some of us have come to lots of classes. Some of us paint at home. So we got to be patient with ourselves, right? And don't be too shy if you need help or embarrassed to ask for help. Sometimes I even ask my helpers for help. Okay? Paint, sometimes I need a wipey. Sometimes I miss a step and they have to remind me. So we're going to hold our brush like a pencil, and we're going to hold it on that rubbery part because of how close we are to our canvas. Have you ever seen artists hold a brush far away like this? Yeah. Yeah. It's usually because they're, Bob Ross, it's usually because they're further away from their canvas. We're close to our canvas, so we're holding our brush close, okay? How are we doing, friends? Almost done. So if your paint isn't going nice and smoothly on your canvas, you need to add water to it. That's why you have that clean water. Remember, your paint needs a drink. And it gets thick and sticky like glue the longer it sits on your plate. So you'll want to add water to it and loosen it up. And if you're feeling super artsy today, once you get your background filled in, you could put a chunk of white on your brush, and you can add white closest to your snail. Kind of make your snail light up a little bit. Yep. Some artists call it a halo around our snail and our leaf. Yeah. And it helps your background not look too flat. Kind of adds some dimension. That's a fancy word, huh? So you can just put white on your brush, have your background color still on your brush, and just add light around your whole snail and leaf. Brighten up your canvas a little bit. These might be your final two. Be prepared. Yep. All right, we're going to wash our brush when you're finished. Now, some of you might not be finished. It's okay. It's okay. All right? Yeah, I don't think you have either. That's okay. I'm not going to move on just yet, but you do need to get your background in. Did you get a little? That's not going to matter. You're okay. I got some in my arm right here and my little spot right there. The next step will cover it, okay? Okay. When you are finished, wash your brush. How do we do that? We've got to put our brush all the way to the base of our jar and paint the bottom of our jar, basically, with our brush. Okay? If we just put the tip in there and swish, nothing's going to happen. Okay? We're going to use this brush a lot, so you want to wash it thoroughly. Okay? I love the fun colors. Oh, you're getting sore already? Sore arms already? We just started. Huh? You're okay. We'll reshape it, okay? It's okay. It just goes like that. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right, we're going to move on in just a second. Make sure your background is in, okay? And your brush is really clean. If you notice, we only have 2 brushes that are stationed today, a flat and a detail. So we're using the flat the most, so make sure it's nice and clean, okay? And remember what I said about washing your brush all the way down in your jar and brush it back and forth, okay? All right. Make sure we have a clean brush. Maylee, when you get a sec, there's a hand over here. All right, we're going to go to our snail next, okay? Not our cute shell yet. Yes, we should. What should the name of my snail be? Kermit? Hermit. Bob? Okay. Oh. All right. It's got to be Bob Ross. Emma, can you help this girl over here? She's had her hand up for a second. Okay, my snail is Bob Ross. I can't deny that name. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to get my brown. I have a clean brush. Do you have a clean brush? Okay. I'm going to start with just a little bit of brown. I'm not going to go crazy. Now I'm going to go to one of my piles of white again and use the whole pile. And I'm going to mix that brown. And now depending on how much brown you put on your brush, you might say, I want my snail to be a little darker. So then you might add a little bit more brown. Teeny tiny bits of brown at a time, not too much, until you say, yep, that's the color of my snail. And then you paint your snail, okay? And if you need to loosen up that color like I do, mine's getting a little thick. I'm using my clean water and adding some water, okay? Now I'm going to paint my snail. Now this is when we will flip our canvas over and we'll do the bottom, right? Wraps around, okay? So if we need to flip our canvas on our easel like this for a minute so that we could get the bottom, then go ahead and do that. Are those tears or laughter? No crying today, right? Again, we're going to try hard to stay out of our eyes. That's a big, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but we're going to try. Don't forget, that snail is carrying the shell, so his body goes, or her body goes all the way Over there. I guess this is Bob, so mine's a he. Bob Ross was a boy, right? I hope Bob Ross here is proud of his paint job. That would be wild, right? Okay, Turbo. Don't forget that little hand. Some of you lost it when you were painting your background. This little spot right here is important. Why? Because that's going to turn into the little hand and arm that's holding the stem of our umbrella leaf, our shade. Who's making fun of my stem? You think my... Yeah, this could be a fall scene, and you could do an orange leaf, right? I forgot to show you guys that this painting sparkled.
Wait, what?
Glitter. We put... Look! The shell is sparkly and the leaf. So, I don't know. If we're really good, maybe we can play with some glitter. All right. Don't wash your brush if you're done filling in your snail, because we got to put in...
I put green in my color on accident.
Oops. Yeah, that happens sometimes. All right. If you're still filling in your snail, that's fine. I want everybody's eyes on the screen for a minute, though, okay? I have the snail color on my brush. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on one corner of my brush. Okay? So I just have a little bit of brown. And I'm going to take that edge of my brush and I'm going to go around my snail. Okay? So I'm kind of shading and outlining at the same time, because look, if we look at this one, that's how we're going to get that little arm shape, okay? You put brown on one corner and you take that corner and you follow the edge of your snail, okay? Okay, you can proceed now that you know that step. We're going to put it all around our snail. And even the shell, because we're going to just kind of shadow a little bit. Now, if you were in my younger class, I would say, you don't have to do this with your big brush, just get your detail brush. But you're an older group, so you get to learn these things. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. So no cheating. We're all trying to do it this way, right? Okay, we have to shape in that little cute little arm too, right? I might add a little shadow under those big eyes. Now, if your shadow gets too powerful and you're like, whoa, it's taking over, you can just add more of that shell color to your brush and just kind of tone it down a little bit, okay? This is kind of a tricky step. It's called floating, okay? So if you need help with it, don't be afraid to raise your hand because my helpers can tell you how to do that step, okay? And they can help you do it. The main thing you want to focus on with this step is make sure you have that little arm, that little hand, so that we can put the stem in there, okay? So notice I didn't just outline the hand, I came into my snail with it. You got to come into your snail. You got to make those lines, okay? That way it'll make sense that your snail is holding the stem, okay? May, do you see this hand? It's a little one. All right. You'll want to wash your brush really good. We're still going to use our flat brush for a while. If you're all finished and you're like, I just got to wait for the next step, I see a lot of edges that aren't done. I also see a lot of tops of canvases. So a lot of times when we're painting, we forget the top of our canvas, this part, because it's sitting on an easel, and we forget to paint that part. So if you're trying to wrap your canvas, make sure you check the top, okay? Okay. Our next step. I know we have a couple people with raised hands, okay? My helpers will come to you. Just be patient, okay? We are going to move on to our shell next, okay? So remember, this is a color that you picked, so it might not be the same as mine, okay? I picked orange. Does anybody know why I picked orange to go with my blue background? That's true. Yeah, a couple of you said it. They're complementary colors. They're opposite each other on the color wheel. Okay. Emma, there was this little guy had his hand up for a while. Okay. So I want you to take your snail color, get a scoop of it, and this time you're going to mix it with half a pile of white. Okay. And again, you might say, oh, I want it darker than that. Then you add another scoop. But don't take away all of your dark color because we need it to shadow around our shell, okay? So let me say it one more time. You're getting a scoop of your shell color and you're mixing it with half a pile of white. See how I still have some white? I just used half my pile. Okay? And then you're going to fill in your fun, swirly shell. And this is a good time to clean up your edges if you got any of your snail skin color into your shell. You can clean it up right now. What are we still trying to stay out of? The eyes. You guys are smart, man. Oh, I love this. I love my bob, my snail bob. Love my snail Bob Ross. What's up, girl? Yeah. Uh-huh. Now fill it all in like I did. Okay. Oh, I think I got paint on my face. Just fill it in like me. Okay. See how you can faintly see that line? Fill it in. And then if you lose it completely, my helpers can chalk it in. Okay. Have some chalk ready. Guys, I know you have a swirly line in your shell. Okay. Just fill in your snail shell like I did. As it dries, that pencil mark is going to show up. If it doesn't show up completely and you're super concerned, my helpers can chalk in that swirl, okay? So just fill it in. These look so fun, so many colors. We're going to let it dry for a minute before we put our swirl in it, okay? So once you paint it, wash your brush, okay? Camp ends at 12:30. About an hour and a half. An 8+ class would be an hour and a half. We'll probably be done early. How's it coming? Looks good. What am I looking at? Oh, sorry. All right. Okay, we're moving on, friends. We're moving on. We need a clean brush. Do we have a clean brush? We have so many colorful shells out there. I love it. Okay, we're going to go on to our leaf and then we'll come back to our shell. Okay, now you've got some green, right? This time we're going to get a big scoop of white. Move it over to our green and mix some of our green with it. We want to keep some of our green dark. Okay, so get a big scoop of white and move it over to some green. But you want to leave some dark green so we can shadow in the veins in the leaf, okay? So I've got my green, I've got my light green already. My dark green is still there for me. And then we're going to fill in our leaf. Still using my flat brush, okay? Just get a big scoop of white, move it to your green, and mix like half of your green with the scoop of white and leave the other half of your green. Now this leaf comes down a little bit in our cute snail's eye, okay? See how it kind of swoops down a little bit? Okay, when you're done with your leaf, wash your brush. Then we're going to switch to our small brush to put the stem in, okay? So I'm going to wash my big brush. And then I'll get my little brush. Okay, and then I'm just going to curve in a stem, okay? So just start to curve it in. Doesn't have to be perfect at first. You can come back and clean it up. Just get the main stem in. And then it just kind of comes out a little bit right there. Okay? And then you can go back and you can thicken it up. It's with the light green, same color as our leaf right now. So you're doing your stem with the light green, just like you did your leaf. Do you see how the stem peeked in again on our snail? So it comes through, it's kind of holding it like this. It goes through and it peeks in again. Just doing your very best. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay? Remember, if you have a stem that's kind of wavy or bent or whatever, or thicker than mine, it doesn't matter. It's your stem. Okay? It's your painting. Just keep painting, girl. How do we do on that stem? Was that so scary to put that stem in without any lines to follow? Smart. Smart, smart. So, this is usually the point in the painting where we start to get a little stiff and sore from sitting. We've been painting for an hour now. We're uncomfortable. This is where we get sloppy. Yeah. Okay. So remember, we're still doing our best work. Okay. So don't get too sloppy. We're going back to our shell now. So make sure your big flat brush is nice and clean, and go back and put your shell color on it. Okay? Shell color on it, and then we kept some of our darkest shell color, right? So I'm going to put a corner of my brush in my darkest shell color. That's what I'm going to use to swirl in that fun shell detail, okay? Now remember what I said, some of you may have lost that swirl. If you can't find it and you're too scared to do it freehand, tell one of my helpers to help you and they'll chalk it in for you, okay? But sometimes, as our paint dries, we can start seeing our pencil marks again, okay? And use that dark edge. And it's okay to go over it a few times and get a good blend, okay? So you're going to go all the way around your cute shell and get your swirl in. Yeah. No. No, we are not painting a squirrel today. Just a swirl. So if this swirl is getting difficult for you to do with your flat brush, I'm okay if you get your detail out and do it, okay? I like to come under my eye too and do a little shadow. And then come down here a little bit. And then just blend in any. Ooh, those lines make a big difference, huh? Hey, where's our swirls? You doing your swirls? If you're nervous, just get your detail brush in and do it with the detail brush, your little one. Oh. All right. Starting to look like a snail. That's cute. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush. Do you need help, sweetie? Do you need help? Yeah? Okay. Emma, when you're done, just turn around directly behind you, okay? Got someone who's nervous about her swirl. All right. Should we do some eye work or some leaf work? Sorry, there was more leaf than eye. Okay. All right, let's go back to our leaf. And we're going to put that light leaf color on our brush again, and then the corner of it in our dark leaf color. Yes. And we're going to put in kind of like an outline all the way around our leaf with this. Okay. Same idea as what we did inside of our snail. Okay. Now, I think you should at least try this technique with your flat before you decide to detail brush it. Because this is a good thing to learn. It gives a more blended look than it does a sharp line. Yep. And then you're going to put in the vein of your leaf right down the center. You should see that pencil mark. If you don't, you're almost making a heart and then putting a line down the middle. Okay? I'm still using my clean water, friends, to dilute my paint and thin it out. Okay, I'm going to put in the other vein lines. Okay? Yeah. They're just bends in our leaf here. Miss Emma was kind enough to put the first one in for you at the top, but then the other ones you got to kind of find as you go down, okay? And it's not too tricky. What? You can if you want, yeah. I'm using my flat because I want the more blended look. But if you're more comfortable just doing it with your detail, that's fine. So your leaf is a heart shape pretty much with a line down the middle and then these rainbow shapes going down. And then get your detail brush, put your dark green on it, and follow the left side of your stem all the way down, okay? So kind of shadow in that left side. It'll help it stand out too. How'd we do on our leaf, guys? Pretty good? We are on the home stretch. We're going to be done before you know it, man. Nope, class isn't over yet for sure. We got lots to do. Okay, so make sure your brush is really clean. I want you to go to your pile of white, and we're going to put some white in our eyeballs to clean it up and also to get our surface wet so that we can blend in some gray. Okay, so just put some white in there. Make sure you don't have any color in your brush. Okay, now this is the trickiest part of the painting. You want to put white on your brush and just a tiny bit of black on one corner. Okay? And then we're going to go all the way around our eyes with a gray outline. Okay? And it's tricky because you're doing a circle. And it'll turn gray because of the white on your brush. So go all the way around. Okay, now if you're thinking to yourself, I want to just use my detail brush. If you're just going to use your detail brush, make some gray and go around it, okay? I think it's easier to use a flat brush because I can push all my bristles and fan all my bristles out. And when I do that, I can get a controlled circle. Whew! That was tricky. All right, I'm going to come around and check on you guys because some of you are still doing shells. Nice job. You need to do. I was trying to do a boomerang.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I don't boomerang.
Weird painting. Your snail's turning out weird.
No, it's like it's kind of funny. I love his hat. Yeah, I just hat. He has a hat. Yeah, the top hat is great. Oh, is he like
Dude, I love your green eyes. That's awesome. What? Gary? The snail Gary. Oh, that's right. What? Oh, it's not time yet. Go sit down. Henry's good too. Okay, these are looking so good. So we are going to highlight, finish our eyes, and then we're going to glitter, and then we're done. Okay? So hang in there. I know some of you have your hands up. Just give my helpers a second to get to you, okay? Oh, cute. Wow. I love it. The eyelashes. Okay. All right, friends. We need to get the black part of our eye in. I'm going to use my red flat brush. If that makes you nervous, use your small detail one, okay? And you're just going to paint the smaller circle in your eye black, okay? Well, not your eye. Your snail's eye. Remember, you can use your detail brush if you're nervous to use your big flat. Okay. Now it's coming to life. Now, my snail Bob Ross is happy, so I'm going to put a smile with my little brush. Maybe yours is sad, I don't know. Or maybe yours is surprised. Mine is happy, so I'm going to put a smile. Oh, see? That does so much to our snail, huh? Okay. We're going to put some highlights in real quick so they can dry. Okay? Because we need our painting to be dry if we're going to glitter it. Okay? Yeah, so get your big brush, get it nice and clean, and then get it in your clean water. So wash it in your dirty water, rinse it in your clean water, and then take your fingers and kind of go down your brush. Don't wring all the water out, but get most of it out, okay? And then put the corner of it in white paint. So your brush looks like this, okay? And now we're going to go to our leaf, and I'm going to highlight each bump like that, okay? Highlights are important. Don't not do them because you don't want to. They wake up your painting. Okay, I'm going to highlight a little bit in my snail's body. And the little hand. And I'm going to highlight in my little swirly shell. It's on the floor. See that? We add some highlights and then it does so much for our cute little snail. Helpers, I know you're super busy, but if someone can do glitter in a second. So we're going to finish the eyes, okay, while my helpers bring you glitter paint, okay? If you don't want glitter, just say no thank you when they come to you. They're going to give you glitter paint. It's going to look like sparkly white paint, okay? I'm going to tell you a couple things before we start with the glitter. You can only paint the glitter on things that are dry, okay? Because if you brush the glitter over something wet, it's going to smear all your hard work, okay? The other thing is your glitter paint dries clear. So if your brush has a bunch of paint in it or dirty water in it, it's going to leave that dirty water color on your canvas. So you'll want to make sure your brush is clean in your dirty water and then rinse it in your clean water, okay? But first, we're going to finish our eyeballs, okay? So I want you to get your little detail brush and get it in white paint. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a smiley face on the bottom of each eyeball. Okay, which sounds kind of silly. Well, you do your highlights. That's why we did highlights and then went back to our eyes. So let your eyes dry, okay? And then you can put the little smiley face on the bottom of your eye. And then you're going to use the bottom of your brush to do your dots. Either one. Just flip it over and use the bottom of it in white paint. And then that's what you'll use to swirl in those bigger dots, okay? And then I like to do a little one too. It's so cute! Okay, remember, girls and boys, what I said about the glitter. You can glitter if it's dry, okay? If what you want to glitter is still wet, Emma, can I have a touch right there? I just want to show for the live. If what you want to glitter is wet, go over to my blow dryers and dry it, okay? The highlights should dry really fast. Mine is already dry, so I'm going to make sure my brush is really clean. And then you just take that glitter and you brush it right over, okay, with a clean, dry brush. So I glitter my leaf and my shell. Those are the two things I glitter, okay? It is sparkly. Remember, you don't have to glitter. And remember to only glitter once it's dry. You need a very clean brush and a dry brush, okay?
Where are the dryers?
They're on that, over there. Yeah, yep. Just keep it on low, and you'll have to plug it in, honey. It's not plugged in. Girls and boys, after you glitter, make sure you sign your name, okay? Use your little brush to sign. Of course. It is your masterpiece, and you can do it however you want. Okay, you guys. After you sign it, your painting is complete, okay? You still have some time. Don't rush. But when you're finished, we're going to want to clean up our station for our next task, okay? Yeah. After you're done painting, we're going to line up our paintings on the floor under the logo. So please make sure it is signed, and my helpers will help you know where to line it up, okay? And what you can do to help us clean is you can throw your plate and your paper towel away and put all your brushes in your jars, okay? But you can finish painting first. So finish your piece, and then we'll start to move on to our next stuff, okay? You guys did awesome. I'm going to come look around. Hopefully our friends at home had a good time and have some fun snails too, okay? How you doing, Lila? Good? Yes, you can.